Hey everybody,
I'm Caleb.
I'm Sam.
I'm Will.
And we are Working Title! Y'all, we're back for VINLAND Saga Season 2, Episode 20, I believe. Pain! Last on, the battle for Kettle's farm has begun. Torfin and company is on the run. And the brothers Thorgil and Omar are going to jump attack Canute. So, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're hyped. Let us know your thoughts on today's episode specifically, some of your favorite moments, who's the MVP of the episode. We'll find out shortly, and we'll see you in the reaction. Punch it.
I'm sorry, what?
今まで13人殺した。そこらのアホに比べりゃ
Fox.
強い方だと思う。
Compared to the average idiot, I'm pretty strong.
生きがってるヤルルのガキ、あの顔ときたらだからわかる。俺の目の前にいる横一列の敵。
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not a Jarl's brat. It's a real man.
Right.
Oh yeah, killing's real fun until they start fighting back.
Until you're the one who's gonna get the blunt of it all.
Until they're the ones that are way stronger than you.
Oh, YouTube censorship.
Oh! No! Not already!
Why is that animation so good? Holy shit!
Yeah.
The motion.
There's a mosquito.
Like real, motion capture.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It reminded me of like old school animation. Damn it, dude.
No!
Look how good that's actually.
That's
CG. No, that's CG right there. That's like Berserk, but modern. Good looking.
No!
Snake. Snake?
Of course.
Snake, yes.
Dang.
Alright, get him off the battlefield. Right.
Everyone fall behind me.
You can cauterize that.
Bro, you're missing the entire hand.
He's absolutely delirious. Alright.
But we're just getting started.
You're such an idiot. You've got what's coming for you.
It doesn't even look like he's gone out into the battle.
He hasn't. Sit back. I thought that was Leaf for a second. Hey, young Leaf.
さっきも何もあんたはもう終わりだよケテルさん。少しは俺たちみたいな貧乏人の気持ちが分かったかい？
Cooked.
どんな理不尽な仕打ちでもあんたは王様に逆らっちゃいけなかったんだ。
This is like eerie.
俺たちがあんたに従ったようにな。
Right.
Should have known the hierarchy.
力は正義なりだケ
Might
テル
makes
さん。
right.
世界はあんたより
That's
強いやつ
so
のためにある。
Yeah, this is a true taste of your own medicine. And what comes around
Oh no.
is about to go around. No, somebody will jump in.
Oh. Did they want him alive?
はいえ今ケティルとおぼしき者が私の部下に倒されました。不手際だな。捕獲しようとしたはずだ。申し訳ござい
Kettle
ませ
just
ん。
got killed off before the full title sequence opened.
Where's Thorgil gonna come into this?
なんか知らんが中市長が離れた。チャンス。
I feel like he's gonna get clapped.
He's gonna announce himself, isn't he?
遺体を粗末に扱うな。後で遺族に引き渡し。
Thumping ass footsteps. Woo!
クルート
Here comes the title. Here comes the title sequence.
Ah, you're right. What's gonna happen?
Oh! Not bad.
He actually.
It had to be him, no one else.
Oh, well, that's not gonna help.
From Helheim.
Woo! Bro, your sword's busted. And that's pretty impressive to me, at least. You know?
Alright. That's wild, I forgot. Like, they've been together.
Yeah, it definitely did. Oh, shit. What is he gonna do?
Nice!
Smart.
That's what he did with the shield.
Stealth.
Oh, yeah. Is Captain Mike on easy on you, Canute?
Too cocky. Yeah, I was like, there's too
Just
much.
throw a sword at him.
Yeah.
Woof. Oh, that's clean.
Well, there goes use of one hand, dude.
Oh! Oh, God! He's still going. Oh, my God.
Is that a Berserk reference?
No, Galen. Maybe.
Maybe kind
The
of.
writers are friends.
Maybe kind
Oh, God, that's so awful.
Or people just get hit in the eye in war.
Oh.
Gosh.
Oh, it's like...
And he lost his hand like that.
Literally guts. Wow.
Alright.
How many is he gonna take down?
All of them.
Oh,
God.
Oh, no, he's gonna go back.
He's gonna do the thing. Oh, he's leaving. He'll be back.
I want him to cut off the hand. Get it all the way severed off. Well, it spared you some time.
Kettle's super dead though. He fucked up.
Oh, is he still alive? He's gotta be.
He's knocked, but he has no eye.
Damn. We gotta go back to this. No.
悪夢の中をさまよっているみたいだった一人っきりででも
Oh, then their two buddies came along.
I liked the well moments.
Yeah, they were sweet in the beginning.
朝のおしゃべりが
It was cute.
絵になるさんの
And Torfin, you were the best wingman. Thank you for those moments alone. Sometimes you just be staring. I can't say I'm surprised. This is what she said she was coming to do.
Yeah. It's going too, man. Kettle saw to that.
この子はもう
Yeah.
行ったわみんな死んだわ大切な人はみんなこれ以上生きて何
I know, right? That's the hard thing. When you're the last one in your family, who wants to wait?
ここにはなぜ生きなければならないの
Aww.
Let it out
Because I
now.
love you, man. I love you, woman. Oh, come on. That was a really good score.
She's passed on, man.
That one.
Yeah.
Forward to the last.
大会の向こ
Let's see.
うヴィンランドという名の土地がある
Yeah. I was gonna say, for some reason, that transition felt like her spirit going away. Soaring.
奴隷商人も戦の炎も届かない遠一だそこならきっとあなたも苦しまずに生きていけ
Yeah. Take your family there.
アルネイズさん俺たちと一緒にそこへ行こうフィンランドに平和な国を作ろう
Why is this so beautiful? Gosh dang it, man. Come on. He's like, you really have changed, man.
Yeah.
So differently from what I saw you. Thought you had rabies.
Oh no.
Don't bring this dickhead over here.
お
No.
前らかなんでまだこんなところにい
It's
る
like
んだ
you're supposed to have left by now.
Don't, Einar. Don't do it. This is what I was talking about when he gets confronted with you face to face.
よせ
Yeah. Oh no.
殺せ殺してやるやめろエイナル旦那を殺しても何にもならない
He didn't even fall though. He just ate a punch to the head.
That was actually really good.
目を覚ませエイナル
Go again. Oh, now he's like, oh no.
He needed that.
That was funny.
Bring it back.
I really hurt Torfin. What the hell?
Fists are like bricks.
Oh.
エイナル俺と同じ呪いになんかかからないでくれ
These characters are just the greatest. So what now? Where do we go from here? I mean, Knut's
place.
still here.
Go to Leaf's village. Say fuck Kettle. Leave him here to die. Can they get out of here before Canute like rallies and like pillages the land?
I really want Torfin and Canute to at least see each other.
They can like pass each other on boats. I prefer that at this point.
神はこうしている今も我々を見ていらっしゃるのだろうな
Here we go.
Who said that? Was that Canute or
That was
Torfin?
Canute. That was
I was gonna say it doesn't sound like
友を失い親と子が殺し合うそんな様の全てを天空の高みから見下ろしておられるのだろう
トルリ待てどこへ行く
Is he gonna go confront Canute
I gotta go have a
何を
chat
するつもりだ
with the king.
There's Canute.
Yeah!
Oh my god. Woo! Crazy. He is a bad man.
俺たちのご先祖様は逃げて戦いを逃れて
Yeah.
アイスランドにたどり着いたって
I just watched that episode.
あの時はかっこ悪いってそう思ったけど
Yeah. A little more than lame.
今はすごく誇らしく思う
As he stoically walks away,
船で
not a care or
いつで
worry.
も船を出せるようにしておくぞ無理はするな必ず
He looks like his father with this walk and all.
トルリ
His father has those big broad shoulders.
Somewhere in the distance, I hear joy in a song.
I hate watching one episode at a time, man. I just want to keep going.
I almost forget you're there. You're just so like. Alright, y'all. That was episode 20. Honey Badger.
Right.
Rest in peace to your right arm.
Oh yeah,
he's alive.
right
He's
on.
alive.
He's alive. He was still ready to fight too.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, don't take me out of the game, coach. I'm still here. I'm still swinging.
That one car in Cars, it's like, don't take me out, coach. I can still race, and half of him's crushed.
Don't take me out, coach. Yeah.
How good was that? Was the motion was for that was really cool. It wasn't as smooth, I don't think, for motion capture, but I think it was use of CG to a really good extent.
It reminded me almost of like the mocap they did for the Clone Wars with the Ahsoka fight
Right.
and Maul.
But that's like perfectly smooth.
That was perfectly smooth. This was a few degrees down, or a few
Right.
notches down, but it was still really cool because
Right.
it was enough where it wanted you to keep focus on the fight.
The reason I'm saying it, I firmly believe it's not motion capture, is the stopping and then moving. The beginning of the motion, the end of the motion. There's a bit of a lack of weight to the character in some of the movements where you can see like there's an end point to the swing. But that's why I said Berserk, because you got that in the Berserk movies that we watched for the channel, where that's a little dated now, even though it's only been a couple of years since that came out, I think 2013. But even still, I think this was a really good version of that. And honestly, the reason I go to that comparison is also just the aesthetic of the episode was a gray undertone with like dark greens and grays, and that's how some of the fighting was for Berserk for a lot of those action sequences, especially his second movie. Also, while we're just quickly on the topic so we can say it and get done with it, how funny is it that both an eyeball got poked out and simultaneously a hand got chopped off or almost chopped off back to back?
Yeah.
It's just a
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Not to
If you know, you
spoil.
know.
Yeah. And they are friends. Those two, the writers of Vagabond and Berserk were friends before the guy passed.
Yeah.
So.
This episode was like pretty like horrid too.
Yeah.
Like all like the I mean there were moments where I was like, I don't even know how, like, if you're gonna be able to put this in the YouTube video, because they're sitting there with like limbs off, blinded in both eyes, blood pouring out.
Yeah.
You know, the horrors of war were you know,
On
rampant.
full display.
Yeah, they're on full display in this episode.
It's pretty grim. Also, somebody might have to correct me. I don't know if it's Berserk in Vinland or if it's Vinland and Vagabond or Vagabond or Berserk. I know two of the three have talked when it comes to storytelling, but I'm pretty sure that what I said was true. But it's hard.
Sure.
Sometimes they're interchangeable. Yeah, it was pretty bloody. Something about me, I don't like the fact that Thorgil got stabbed, but there's still parts of the
It was still
the
connected.
arm still connected. Sometimes just like cut that thing off. I don't like that because you can't pull a prison break and just sew it back up and story wise pretend like that hand is just gonna start working again.
Yeah.
You know, those are sliced
That's
arteries
gone.
and stuff. That hand is never going to work correctly again, or at all.
Yeah.
It's a shame,
Also, I mean, he would have severed completely his his bones from here.
He has no nerves.
He was
left
he was a
in his hand.
righty, wasn't he? Wasn't he a righty? I can't remember what hand he brought the sword down with.
I can't remember either.
He got hit on the right. He was holding the sword on his right
That's
hand.
what I thought.
mean,
But I was fighting with his weak hand then for.
I
most of the
don't
time.
think we're gonna get like a Jamie type
Maybe.
thing from this.
The show has stood its ground when it comes to some form of realisms.
Yeah.
So,
And are we sure about that?
as far as anime, yeah, I'd say this is the
Thorgil was throwing logs like up 500.
So-
over
As I
100
said.
yards.
an anime, yes.
So,
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm like we're dabbling in the realms of almost.
My competitions is Shinigami, Titans,
That's fair.
and
Thorkel's just like
fairies.
Goliath from the Bible.
Well, sure. So perhaps you can say as far as mythos for some.
Sure.
But
Also,
the action was cool.
also the eye, like through the eye, but it wasn't just through the eye. He like pushed. You know what I mean? Like he was like, I can't even do that. He was like in like this, and then just threw him to the side. It's so horrible.
I don't like it.
Hey, Fox. This episode was a great what comes around goes around type of episode between Thorgil, Kettle, and Fox. Fox starting off the episode strong, saying, "I always loved killing. That little turd that I killed was so great." But not this. This is horrible. This is horrible. This is horrible.
It was horrible. They're all so scary.
Why are they strong? Yeah.
Yeah, followed into an immediate retreat. Kettle didn't like it. That was actually a great moment between him and the random farmer who owed a debt. Like, yeah, doesn't it suck to have to always bend the knee to somebody bigger than you because somebody's always gonna be in charge?
Yeah.
Now you know what it's like. Like, even when you try your best, somebody still's gonna be over top you.
There's always going to be a stronger, more powerful person.
And it's like, yeah, sure, as far as slave owners go, you might be a little bit more morally sound and a little bit kinder, but overall, you still make these people subservient to you and have to pay you for a debt that they don't necessarily owe you. Now, though that guy wasn't a slave, but it's still a universal thing, like how, yeah, you're born into the world and you have kings that sometimes you have to pledge to. It's just the way it is. I'm not the judge of fairness, but that's how it is. So it's either, sure, you got screwed over by him too, but you were also extended an olive branch last episode. You could have bent the knee. The king, I think Canute at least understood where your rage came from to the point that he was willing to say, okay, submit now and we can go forward.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And now you know what it's like for everybody else.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Can't say I'm too sorry for you, mate.
And he got whacked. He lost an eye.
I thought he died, honestly.
Me too.
I thought he was dead. That helmet came off and I was sure of it. And so was the men. They thought that they had got him too. That's what Canute's assessment was. He was pretty pissed.
So inept.
right. Kind of ruins things too. And I mean, both Canute and Snake know that we need somebody of importance to still survive the battle so we can have some negotiation afterwards.
Omar.
Oh, that would go over well.
That's going to be who's left to bend the knee. Maybe that's why he's in the intro, praying. He's praying for forgiveness.
Sure. Could be. We didn't touch on him at all today. I thought that might have been him with his chest zoom in, but it was then Thorgil who pulled up, did his classic exclamation of, hey, I'm here to sneak attack you.
Big, beefy footsteps. And didn't even try to sneak after a while. Just, it's me! Ah!
All things considered, the fight was realistic, destroyed the sword. Canute couldn't really hold his ground, but his defense was decent enough to get a couple seconds until Wolf could pull up.
Yeah.
And Wolf did his job, man. He tackled him, punctured him, made him flee. That's gonna suck to swim with that, but I'm sure Thorgil can manage.
He threw a sword at him too. He didn't stab him with it.
Right. He pulled a chivalry.
He pulled a chivalry.
He pulled my favorite move.
It's the most fun part.
Chuck the most massive object you can find and hope it hits.
Yeah.
And they let him go, or at least they're gonna chase Thorgil away far enough that he's not gonna return. They're gonna track him a little bit. Other than that, it looks like the battle's put on a halt, and that's where he had returned to freaking Arnheid.
That was sad. That was very upsetting.
Right.
I mean, I fully expected it as of what happened last episode, but still, didn't make it any softer on us.
I was gonna continue the conversation from last week about where my heart was when it came to her, and how as you pointed out, the week to week watching of this can be challenging, especially for a high emotional stake show.
Yeah.
Trying to constantly be there with the characters mentally when you watch this show, because it is weighty. It holds a little bit more weight than most of the content we watch, and just emotionally I've been a little bit drained from her story. But I will say, when the music started to swell after she passed, that did get me. When they were crying
CPR.
out, the CPR, the music really was good.
Yeah.
And that they did that beautiful. I think what really sold it for me, once again, as it always has really been, is the relationship aspect with Einar and Arnheid.
Yeah.
Just to know that she's a fully invested woman with another man that she's been married to, that's super deep and connected, but you also have this man that you've built something with in that mindset, thinking that your family has been gone, so there's a chance for something new. When it returns, you of course go back to it, but that means there's this person still left behind with those feelings.
Yeah.
Which it's sad. and he couldn't bring himself to really put that pressure on her in that last moment.
Yeah.
He didn't say
say
it until she passed, which really is.
It's a shame. I mean, of course, it wouldn't really have meant much in the long haul other than her final thoughts, knowing like how he really, really felt. But I mean, she was aware, you know.
Sure.
The dude doesn't go to that lengths, whether it's like a romantic love or platonic friendship, familial love. You know what I mean? Like, she got the gist.
Einar's feelings are on his sleeve.
Yeah,
You don't have to look too far to know what he's
thinking or where he's at in his feels. Yeah.
Einar, I think I'm a little bit better at hiding how I feel some days, but man, I feel like Einar is a pretty universal character for the fans to attach themselves to.
Yeah,
This season,
he's relatable.
I know people in the comments were going at me last week because I was like, kill Kettle.
I was going to ask, who said that amongst us?
It was me. Okay. I said it jokingly after we transitioned from that Arnheid scene. I was like, it'd be nice if you can go die.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, did
you didn't get the point of the show.
The whole point of season 2. It's like, no, but also like, there's that, you can't tell me that there's like that human thing of you where it's like, you know the meme. You have no enemies, except for that one dude that really pisses you off.
I have no enemies. Somebody kills my family. I now have one enemy.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that we've digressed in our feelings. It's more of just the fact that even if that's your mentality, it doesn't mean people are still not going to irk you, or you feel that justice should be served to somebody. And I feel like Einar is that exact person. He's heard everything that Thorfinn said, and while he might not actually mentally be able to understand that, because he... How can you unless you've actually done that?
Yeah.
I'm sure he can progress as a person, gather that, but still feel those feelings of high emotion because of what just happened with him.
Yeah.
And there's your opportunity. The man who's caused all your problems is just sitting perfectly vulnerable for you to exact your vengeance on.
Yeah. And that, that's kind of like what I brought up before, is like having the ideas are all dandy until the problem is actually face to face with you,
right.
And you have the opportunity to do something about it. And him being blind with rage, I mean, of course, who wouldn't be? You know what I mean? Who wouldn't be after losing their lover, good friend, sister, family member, whatever you want to consider that in your own life, losing that person who, and it wasn't just like as a result of what Kettle did. It's like, no, he murdered her. You know what I mean? Like, she died because of his hands.
Right.
And you can understand why anyone would feel that way, and why they would want vengeance. I think probably the part that was like the sweetest for me in the episode too is like Thorfinn's like, not resolve. I mean, I guess resolve to bring Einar back to reality. Like, and that's like a true brother and a true friend. Like somebody that's gonna stand there with you, even when you're against them at that point, to do the right thing. Like, Einar punched him in the face. And, and Thorfinn didn't punch him in the face as, like, retaliation. It wasn't like, you punch me, I punch you. Like, he punched him in the face to snap him out of it. And, like, to see, like, Thorfinn sit on the ground to, like, cry. Like, of course, like, they were emotional. He was emotional upset about the whole Arnheid situation. But I think he was crying, too, because he's like, I just don't, like... I know the hell that I had to fight out of. I mean, it's literally what he said. Like, don't go to that place that I've been to.
Yeah.
And, like, pleading with him to, like, stay on, this, like, positive... Like, stay on as much of this side of life as you can without going to that dark place. That was really sweet for me. It kind of touched me. Also, seeing, like, big grown men cry. I don't know why. It's like, damn. This must be really emotional because, a lot of men don't cry, so now I'm feeling sad.
It shows a good balance of, like, positive masculine roles in media. Yeah. I really like how they do these characters. I think, we had the funeral with her. Snake was there. And then we actually got we returned to that whole to the far west idea too. Just like this, I don't think I told you, but I told Kale the other night. I was rewatching Vinland. I think I only got 2 episodes in, restarting, but just a nice refresher because when that slave first arrived at their house in season 1, like that's what his father did for him, like this like
Yeah.
ceremonial like
Of
easing into the
passing
next
him on,
life.
Yeah.
To just kind of make people feel a little uplifted, which is always it's beautiful. I don't exactly know. It would be cool if the writer at some point in the story expands a little bit more onto what that idea means. Perhaps they won't say it more like literally, but maybe a little bit more explicit version as the show progresses, how the characters feel like the purpose of this is to share that. Because in my opinion, the show very much so tackles faith-based things, and you could say for universal type of religious beliefs, but like this idea of being in an elevated mentality before you pass on as almost like a blessing for the person.
Yeah.
Which, and I say universal because it's not necessarily, well, while I do believe the show has a lot of Christian values in it, I can't say that is necessarily like a Christian thing. It's more of that's just like balance this person in like a I hate the term because it's such a modern use of the term, but like a good vibe before they go out, like make their heart feel at ease before they're like released. Which is, it's unique, and the show definitely does it in a subtle way. I would be curious to see. I know we've talked about this like several weeks ago, like how much they go that route.
Yeah, I mean, with Thorfinn being super interested in like Christianity and like the Gospels,
Right.
At the I can't remember what he was reading exactly.
There was the Gospels.
Okay, yeah, but you know, like reading of Scripture, like is that something that's going to be, you know, influencing his faith,
Right.
Or is that going to, maybe he doesn't necessarily like become a Christian, but is it going to influence like the mentality that he is going to build with like his new town, his new people, his land? You know, like and offering that like hey, like we can go to this place together, you and I, where there's no war, we will live peacefully, there won't be any slaves. You know what I mean? Like, how much will that be incorporated together? I think it is setting it up for Thorfinn to have some type of like real outside of the life-changing experience he's had now, maybe more of like a spiritual-esque type of thing.
I genuinely feel like that's the direction the show will go in. The show, literally in episode 1, name drops that Leaf believes in, I don't know if they said Catholicism or Christianity. I mean, people will say it's mutually the same, but he follows that. The father obviously has very much so Christ-like ideas. Like, I mean, the whole bloody show is called You Have No Enemies, for one thing. The other reason I bring it up specifically for this episode is we had that transition scene with what I thought for a moment was Thorfinn, but it was Canute, you know, kind of blaspheming once again.
God.
Oh, there you are, up on your high pedestal, looking down on us.
As people, you know,
as things are happening.
Yeah.
And then what was kind of wild in that moment is Thorfinn's also looking up, kind of annoyed, as if he feels that same way. That's how I felt. Is it like he's almost looking up in rage, and I feel like there's some substance to that, because the very next thing he does is I'm going to go talk to Canute.
Like he's going to go take it in his own hands, which is like the same thing that Canute is doing on the opposite side as well.
And Thorfinn was there during that radicalization in Canute, where he's kind of backed away from God, because episode 19, Thorfinn would have still been around the camp, and he would have been there going to King Swen, very well aware that, you know, Canute is now on this new rampage of how he sees the outlook on the world and God towards people. So I feel like Thorfinn's going to maybe challenge him.
Yeah.
Maybe challenge him in like a religious battle, an ideology battle, question why he's being so loose with people's lives, that he's just coming to storm in while he has these supposed values that he poses up and says he's for. Kind of like exactly what I was talking about with Canute's first episode in this season. Like, how will this man convince himself that he's doing right while also being an earthly king and exacting earthly revenge on people that won't bend the knee to him? Because that's not godly. And yet here he is professing to be better than So, but Torfin's like, it's hard to know if that's where the show will go with Torfin, because Torfin's also Torfin. He hasn't read much.
Yeah.
His knowledge is super limited. So how much can he really have a battle of the mind other than what wisdom he has earned from this season alone?
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard because a lot of times too with anime, there's only so much you can fit in some instances. Not that they can't go beyond it, be really extensive in their conversations. I just feel like a lot of times they don't. Like I'm like, damn, I wish I would hear Torfin like really talk through a lot of things. It's not just anime, but it's a lot of TV shows where you're like, oh, but there's like 4 other things like you could really talk about to like help clear the air or expand on this or like really narrow out your not narrow out but hammer down like what your thoughts are on these things. But you know, it's not always entertaining.
We just want a podcast of them shit.
Ultimately, I'm looking for a Torfin v. Canute podcast debate where they hammer out their ideas.
And instead, the podcast gets sparsed out and put at different segments in the next 3 seasons.
Yeah, and then they have like little dialogue. It's not it's not a full-on hour breakdown.
Still more than half the shows we watch.
In
terms of dialogue, we get.
This is great. This is great. This is just me like wanting it to go.
You want it to wrap up.
It's me. No, I don't want the show to end. I just want I just want more. I want more from them, but it's doing great. The battery's about to die.
Okay. I'll say my next thought later. We'll talk about Iceland because I'm sure we'll be getting around to that in the upcoming episodes and talk about the future for them. But any other thoughts? Well, y'all, we love you. Let us know your thoughts on today's episode. What are some takeaways you have? Some agreements or disagreements with us. What are you looking forward to? Manga readers, stay away. Or at least just watch quietly. We love you. Punch it!